You were maybe 8, standing on a kitchen chair so you could reach the sink, washing dishes that weren't yours to wash. And you were listening, not to cartoons, to the house itself, whose footsteps those were in the hall and what kind of mood was about to walk through the door. A kid that age is supposed to be somewhere else, on the floor, tongue between their teeth, drawing a dog that comes out looking like a potato. You were doing a different kind of math, adding up the silences, checking the weather in a grown-up's face before you said a single word. Nobody sat you down and took your childhood away. There was no single terrible day you can point to. You gave it up slowly instead. One small piece at a time, and every piece you handed over bought you the exact same thing. A little more calm, a little less to be afraid of. And here's the strange cost of watching everyone else that closely. None of it ever points back at you. You could feel a grown-up's mood turn from across the room. But ask how you felt, and there was just static. You learned every person in that house by heart. You never got around to learning yourself. That skill didn't fade when you grew. It came with you. Walk into any room now and you read it in seconds. Who's tense, who's had a rough day, the exact second a smile goes tight and turns polite for show. You hear the shift in someone's voice before they know it's there. People call it intuition, like a gift you were born with. It wasn't a gift. It was training. A kid learns to sense trouble coming because catching it early was the only way to duck before it landed. Ask that kid what they wanted for dinner and they'd freeze. Not because they didn't care, because the question had never once been theirs to answer. Wanting something costs you. You have to notice what you feel, say it out loud, then handle it if the answer is no. That whole chain felt dangerous, so the wire just got cut. Ask them today where they want to eat, and you'll still get, "I don't mind, wherever's good for you." They're not being easy. The part that knew what they wanted went quiet a long time ago. Then you found the one move that worked. Be useful, help, and the house went quiet. Carry something heavy, and someone finally looked at you with relief. Nobody ever said it out loud, but the deal was clear. You earn your place. You're loved for what you do, not for who you are. But there was a catch to earning your place. What you did had to be right. A mistake wasn't just a mistake in that house. It could tip a fragile evening into something worse. Knock over a glass on the wrong night, and suddenly it's not about the glass anymore. So you got careful, too careful. You checked everything twice, reread the instructions, rehearsed a simple text before you dared to send it. People call it perfectionism now, like it's about high standards. It was never about standards. It was about staying safe. Then somewhere young, you stopped asking for anything at all. You'd run the experiment once. You needed someone. You reached out. Nobody came. But here's what a kid does with that. They can't afford to believe the grown-up failed them. They still need that grown-up to survive. So they turn it around and point it inward instead. Not "they let me down," but "I asked for too much, I'm too much." And once a child decides their own needs are the problem, the fix is obvious. Need less. Then less. Until you've talked yourself all the way down to needing nothing. And you learn to call that being strong. People call it strength. Independent, low maintenance. So easy to have around. What they can't see is why. You don't ask because the one time you did, it nearly broke you, and you swore you'd never feel that small again. You'll carry the flu into work before you'll text a friend to bring soup. Not because you don't need the soup, because needing it out loud still feels dangerous. There's a quieter flip side to always giving. You'll drop anything for anyone, but let someone try to give something back, and you get twitchy. A friend reaches for the bill, and you fight them for it. Someone says something kind about you, and you swat it away with a joke before it can land. Taking feels like owing. A gift you didn't earn feels like a debt quietly collecting interest. So you stay the one holding the door open, never the one it opens for. Because being the person with needs is exactly what got you left the first time. And here's the twist you might not see in yourself. You'd think after all that, you'd crave calm. You don't. When life finally goes quiet, bills paid, nobody upset, nothing on fire, you get more nervous, not less. A still house doesn't feel like rest. It feels like the held breath before something breaks, so you go find the fire. You take on the friend who's a full-time crisis. You turn a small worry into a 2 a.m. emergency. You never learned that quiet could be safe, because back when it counted, it never was. Now think about what a childhood actually is. It's the one window in a whole life where someone else is supposed to hold the weight, where you get to be small and wrong and silly, and it's fine, because a bigger person has the roof covered. It's the practice round, the safe place to fall before the stakes turn real. You never got the practice round. You were handed the real game as a kid and told to play it like an adult, and you played it well. That's the cruel part. You got praised for it. Every grown-up who called you so responsible, so grown-up for your age, was clapping for the very thing that was quietly taking your childhood away. And this is the loss that has no name. When someone dies, you get a funeral. People show up, they say sorry, you're allowed to fall apart. But nobody holds a funeral for a childhood. There's no day off, no card, no one to say, that shouldn't have happened to you. The thing you lost, you were thanked for losing. So the grief just sits there with nowhere to go, and it starts quietly making your choices for you. And the moment you feel that grief, guilt shows up to shut it down. Other people had it worse, you tell yourself. There was a roof. Nobody hit me. Who am I to complain? So you file it back under ungrateful, straighten up, and go right back to proving you're fine. Which is the same move that started all of this. You're still earning your place. You're just doing it in your own head now. But now for the part that changes it. The child you had to shove aside to survive didn't die. They're still in there. Every time you can't relax, can't ask, can't want, that's not a flaw in you. That's an 8-year-old still up on the chair, still washing the dishes, still listening for footsteps, still waiting for someone to walk in and say, "You can stop now. I've got it." You spent your whole life waiting for that person to show up. Here's what nobody told you. It isn't a parent, it isn't a partner who finally sees you. The one who gets to walk in and lift the weight off that kid is you. The adult you became by carrying all of it is the exact person strong enough to set it down. You don't heal this by growing up even more. You've done enough of that for 3 lifetimes. You heal it backwards, gently, and it's smaller and stranger than you'd think. It's letting yourself want the second coffee and actually getting it. It's asking for help with something you could have handled alone, then sitting in how wrong that feels until it slowly stops feeling wrong. It's doing something useless on a Sunday without earning it first. Each tiny thing is you telling that kid in a language they finally understand that the rules have changed, that wanting is allowed now, that it's safe to have. You grew up too fast because someone had to, but that job is over now. And the childhood you never had isn't gone. It's just been waiting patiently all this time for you to finally feel safe enough to have it.